Hi everyone, I am outside the front of our house today giving you the information on how you could have some begonias that look this gorgeous. Hi everyone, it's great to see you. I am outside with these beautiful trays of non-stop begonias. Now there are many different types of begonias. These are tuberous begonias. These happen to be put out by proven winners. They're considered proven selections, and they are an annual here in zone 6B. If you live in zone 10, these are probably going to overwinter for you, no problem. But for us here, we either have to dig up the tubers or we count them as an annual. But they are so gorgeous. Take a look at this flower. They look like little roses. So last year was the first year that I actually put these directly in the ground. I've always loved putting them in my planters, and I still do a number of them in my planters. But by putting them in the ground, they looked like these little miniature roses, and they lasted really well into the fall. When you're planting a tuberous begonia, there's a couple things to consider. One is that if you do want them to continue flowering, probably about every other week, you need to give them some type of balanced fertilizer. They don't love a ton of fertilizer, but the flowers do necessitate that. They're considered a part shade to shade flower. If you find yours are not blooming enough, they're probably not in enough sun. You need enough sun to get the flowers out on these. So I'm putting them in partial shade where they're going to get dappled sunlight, and they seem to like that a lot. If you have them in too much sun, you're going to see that some of the leaves get crispy. That's going to be really your signal for that. You can pluck off the crispy ones if it's not too bad, but it might give you an idea that you want to move them with a little more shade for their environment. Tuberous begonias look, and they're called tuberous, like they have a lot of water in them. And yes, you do need to water your tuberous begonias, but they really don't like too much water. In fact, if you're looking for another plant where you could skip a day watering, tuberous begonias would be a good choice for you. I find about every other day works out well for them. They want to be damp, but not a saturated wet. So when you go to plant these, you want to make sure you're not planting them too deeply, where there's a divot that the water can pool in. You want good drainage there. Likewise, you don't want to plant them too high because they don't like to have their roots exposed. So you really want to try to plant them exactly where the top of the pot is. The other thing as you're planting these is there is a front side to tuberous begonias and there's a back side. So look at how beautiful this is with the flower. And then when you turn it to the other side, like literally it looks like the back side of the plant. No flowers, the leaves aren't facing that way, and all tuberous begonias are that way. They have a forward facing side and a back side. The flowers and leaves do not flip around. If I planted this side out and gave this side more sun, you're still gonna have this be the back side of your plant. So you want to thoughtfully place these in your garden so that the front showy side is the side that people are really going to see. So I'm going to get these dug into the ground and I'll show you how they look using this as part of your in-ground annual planting. Look at how these begonias have grown in. They are fabulous. It is stunning as you walk by. They look like these little mounds of roses. And I must have planted them in the right direction because the flowers are blooming outward. The astilbe is in bloom. This is exactly how I wanted it to look. I'm so pleased. So if you haven't ever considered putting tuberous begonias in the ground, you might want to give it a try. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.